Now, must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you, perhaps, seem much insinuated, but yet to me they are strong. The queen his mother lives almost with his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves, not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to public count I might not go, is a great love to the general gender bear him, who, dipping in his faults in their affection, would, like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for loud wind, would have retrieved my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age. For her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we cannot let our beard be shook by danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall have hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourself, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know that I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are the rest come back? Or is it some abuse, and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thou didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Ay, my lord, so you will not overrule me to peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned, as checking his voyage, and that means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, how ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fail. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice, and call it an accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather, if you could advise it so, that I might be the organ.
If it falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for the quality wherein, they say, you shine. Your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and that in my regard of the unworthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A very riband in the cap of youth, yet needful too. For youth no less becomes the light and carelessness, livery in that it wears, than settled age in his sables and weeds, importing health and graveness. 2 months since, here was gentlemen of Normandy. I've seen myself, and served against, the French, and they can call well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in, he grew up onto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, and he had been in corpse and demi-natured with the bravest beast. So far he topped my thought, that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he did.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman.
Upon my life, Lamond.
The very same.
I know him well. He is the brooch indeed, and gem of all the nation.
He made confession of you. He gave you such masterly report, for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier more especially, that he cried out, 'Twould be a sight indeed, If one could match you, the scrimmers of their nations, he swore, had neither motion, guard, nor eye. If you opposed them, sir, this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over, to play with him. Now out of this...
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you, like the painting of sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think that you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see, in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is a like goodness still. For goodness, growing to a pleurisy, dies in his own too much that we would do. We should do what we would, for this would changes, and hath abates and delays as much, as there are tongues, our hands, are accidents. And this should is like a spendthrift sigh, that hurts by easing, but to the quick, to the ulcer. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake? To show yourself your father's son, indeed, more than in words.
To cut his throat, I, the church.
No place, indeed, should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep it close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home, and will put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in fine together, and the wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not pursue these foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountain bank, so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue, under the moon can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contingent, that if I guile him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience, both of time and means, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, that might hold, if this should blast and proof. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your comings. I had, when in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end. And he calls for a drink. I'll have prepared him a chalice of the nonce, whereon by sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
Oh, woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow grows as lant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she come, of crown flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them.